Meeting with the ROB edited. Dash 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 MC Pav. It was unexpected to say the least. Never would I have expected to join Truck-Kun's legion of crossers, as unlikely as it seems. I have been drifting in this darkness for a while now and nothing is going on, just silence. I am alone with my thoughts for a long time. That's dangerous. I hope I don't start spiraling into depravity. Nah, probably not. It's not like I was completely sane anyway. When I was alive I was an MMA fighter trying to work my way into the big show so I can start making some bank, but no one tells you how tough it is to get noticed by the UFC, so I started working some jobs on the side to help pay the bills. Everything went south when I was hired by some Bulgarian mafia boss to be his personal bodyguard. The pay was good, heck I didn't need to fight professionally anymore, so I retired. I was 26 around this period. I had some time to myself, so I got hooked on anime and some series. I started watching One Piece from the jump. I have to say Luffy and his friends really grew on me. Watching their adventures and how much they went through to achieve their dreams really put a lot in perspective for me, but I still say that Oda the infuriating genius created quite possibly the coolest character ever in Jeor Mormont and completely underutilized him. Like so 20 years have gone by and I still remember when Mihawk and Zoro fought. Was that not the coolest thing you have ever seen on television? I'm telling you, we needed more Mihawk content, but nope, Oda starved us. The world's strongest swordsman and he was so underutilized, a tragedy I tell you. Anyway, I was 48 when I finally retired. Over the years I had a wife and kids and I made enough money and I was done with that life. I guess it wasn't done with me. Over the years I became a well-known with that comes perks and disadvantages. On my 56th birthday my family was attacked by a rival gang, wife and kids kidnapped and held in a hostile location. I was livid, so I went to the place and fought my way in. The gunshots attracted police and the building was surrounded. Finally the boss of the gang made a deal with me. They would release my family to the police. In exchange I'll stand down and die. I agreed cause they are the most important part of my life. I'm already old, I've seen the ugly side of this world, and if I am still here they would never be safe, so I bet my life on the new generation. Is that a Shanks reference? Lol, after I saw them with police I activated the bomb I strapped onto my body when I came. Blew the place up and all of us in there died. How's that for an exit? I feel I've been drifting in this place for a long time now. When is it going to end? How are you still alive, mortal? Said voice that sounded like it was coming from every direction. I looked around until I saw a white celestial body. It had human features but no face. It was faceless, no eyes, no nose, nothing. Kinda looked like Truth from FMAB. I'm not gonna lie. I am as confused as you. Been here for a while now, said the Mech, trying to look as calm as possible. He could feel it wouldn't take a look for this being to wipe him out of existence. Your misfortune turned into luck. You have been in the void for 20,000 years. This is not where beings of your level should be. Maybe there was a mistake in your transcendence cycle. The ROB muttered to himself, but I managed to pick up on it. Can you please help me? I don't want to be here alone anymore. And what do you mean luck? I asked, cause how can being alone for that long be luck? The void is where beings such as myself reside. You as a human should be wiped out the moment you stepped in here. Talk less of surviving this long. I like your perseverance and I'll help you reincarnate into another world different from your Earth. I'll go through your memories and pick one now, then allow you ask for 4 wishes. I won't make you a god, get your head out of you ass. The ROB said. Fair enough to me. I even get 4 wishes instead of 3 like those fan fictions. Let me think and plan what I want. Okay, I decided you will go to Planetos. I believe the series is called Game of Thrones. Now you state your wishes. If I don't like it, I'll dismiss it. For my first wish, I wish to be reincarnated as Jeor Mormont with all his swordsmanship and hockey. I asked, hoping for the best. Granted, but it would come with the body from people from Planetos. This wish basically makes this an O. So people can learn hockey and there are devil fruits but also magic still. I wish to have the Zushi no Mi. Controlling gravity would be cool and I'll be able to fight the dragons in that world. I said as I stated my second request. Granted. I'll remove the devil fruit curse too. But to make this more fun, I'll add a random amount of devil fruits in your world. To give you a bit of a challenge. It would be the ice fruit, Mara no Mi, woods fruit, teleport fruit, gold fruit, shock fruit, tori no Mi, mythical zone Fenrir fruit and mythical zone Jormungandr fruit. These are ones that have already been found before. The Jormungandr fruit has already been eaten hundreds of years before when you get there by a kraken and is what the Ironborn worship as the drowned god. Zones and Logia can be harmed by Valyrian steel and Haki also. The Rob replied. I see. So I would be seen as entertainment for this god. Don't worry, I aim to please. I wish for an AI. Super smart around Brainiac's level and comes with parallel processing and is completely loyal to me, and it comes with an inventory about the size of Alabasta. Granted. And finally, I wish for complete ice immunity. Can't feel cold and the Night Walkers can't harm me with their ice magic. Denied. I'll give you ice resistance so you can't feel the cold or get frost bitten, but that's it. The Night King can still harm you. I forgot to add before, because of your stay in the void you were granted a few gifts. Eidetic memory. Your soul is effectively immortal, so when your body dies you can choose to cultivate immortality or reincarnate again, and you can read minds. Now have a good time in Westeros. Draw. What's your name again? I was known as Joshua Connors in my past life. In my next I will be called Mihawk. Sure. I'll be watching Mihawk. Now leave. And everything went dark. 17 comments, 0 vote. Rebirth edited. Jeor Mormont Pav. Luckily I skipped the whole being given birth to process and reincarnated on my first name day. I have to say, being thrust into a new world without electricity and modern gadgets is quite discomforting. Like bro, you don't want to know how I have to take a shit and I'm a noble for fuck's sake. By the way, I met my father Jeor Mormont today. I have to say he is tall as fuck. Not like the mountain but not far off. I synchronizing with host. 1%. 23%. 56%. 70%. 93%. 100%. Successfully bonded to host. Hey AI. Can you explain to me your functions? Host can use the AI to keep track of your gifts and abilities in a system-like format. Comes with inventory and the ability to perform parallel processing with eidetic memory. Does host want to see his stats? Yes, open, I answered. I was trembling with excitement cause now my journey in this world begins. Name, Jeor Mormont. Template, Jeor Mihawk 0.01%. Titles, Noble, Immortal Soul. Devil Fruit, Zushi no Mi Non-Awakened. Haki, Conqueror, Awakened, Observation, Awakened, Armament, Awakened. Inventory, none, storage is the size of Alabasta from One Piece. Special abilities, mind reading, can only read surface thoughts, need to train more to advance. Immortal soul, the body can die but unless your soul gets destroyed you would never forget anything and who you are. Comes with eidetic memory and AI that performs parallel processing. Knowledge, shipbuilding and alcohol brewing. Congratulations for getting a starter pack. Open now. Of course. Should wait till I'm 30 or something. Congratulations to host for drawing Mihawk's eyes. Congratulations to host for drawing Black Blade, Yuru. Due to rules of the world it has been converted to Valyrian steel. It is recommended to say you found it on a journey outside the north when you were older. Congratulations to host for drawing Awakened Observation Haki and all other types of Haki. Due to world rules affecting history everyone is capable of learning Haki, but devil fruits are mythological and searched for. There are only 5 current users known today. But your immense talent sets you apart from them. Congratulations to host for drawing the ability Communicate and Command Hawks, also known as skin changing. You can still skin change with other animals but it is harder. Congratulations to host for drawing Hawkeye's fruit knife. Rewards sent to inventory. Host can use them up at any time. Okay, that last one hurt my feelings, not gonna lie, a fruit knife. Really? I guess I can use it to stunt on people in the future. Son, come here, said Jeor Mormont while gesturing to me. I wobbled my way to him. I have to say being a baby is stressful though. Can't control my limbs properly. I'm here, father, I said as I reached out to him. Carry me. As I was in his arms he took me to the balcony of the castle where I could see all of Bear Island. The snow-covered trees, the common folk going about their day, I saw men and women training in the courtyard. It's up to you and Jorah to protect this land in the future. I hope when you're older you try to leave this world better than you came into it. Jeor Mormont said as he smiled at me. I was so confused. Is this what you should be telling a 5-year-old? Would they even remember when they grow older? This old man is senile. I nodded my head at him as I continued looking at this piece of land I was born in. I don't care about Westeros as a whole, but this place I would protect with my life. The year is 260 A. See, the tragedy of Summerhall has already happened, so I have a lot of time to prepare for the fuckery that's Westeros. 13 comments 0 vote. I'm continuing this FIC. Already edited the previous chapters so New World rules. Their strength is still at the level that Planetos can handle, so dragons are still op cause they are the apex of the planet regardless and can also use hockey and devil fruits and are very intelligent like Skyrim's dragons. They can speak telepathically to people. History of Planetos remains unchanged until his birth, from then on out is my choosing. Devil fruit users are hated by the faith of the Seven. Hockey is known around the world, but the ways to train hockey are guarded secrets by nobles and alike. One can still fumble to train it, but it won't be as easy as a noble who knows what he's doing. No harem, but he would have dalliances and relationships with people, but only one wife when he gets one. And he'll be loyal to her. 5 comments 0 vote. Pissed. Download the app for additional rewards. More events, more perks. Winning you more free perks. Download now. _D_born. Download app now. Bear Island 1. 270A. C. Pav Mihawk. 10 years have passed since I awoke in the body of my 5-year-old self. I am now 5 and 10, almost a man grown, and would go out into the world to fend for myself. A lot has happened in that time. I revealed to my family I found a devil fruit and ate it. They were all congratulating me when asked which one. I said the gravity fruit. Which confused them. Then I had to explain what gravity was based on my devil fruit when it sunk into their heads how strong it was. I was told to hide it until I was strong enough or forced to use it. Devil fruits here still work based on stamina, and since I have a higher threshold thanks to the Mihawk template, I can use longer than most, but still not as often as those in One Piece. So no spamming meteorites for me. Funny enough, no one here has heard of the concept of awakening devil fruits. Guess I'm going to be the first. Jorah and I trained our hockey according to the Mormont method, which makes our armament stronger than most people. I then helped train Jorah with observation according to what I could glean from some of Mihawk's memories. As of now, both of us are one of the strongest warriors in the North on paper, but you never know really. Jorah is 20 and is currently helping Dad run the keep. I experimented with some whiskey and we started selling them in small quantities around the North. The coin is helping us stay afloat, but we are getting wealthier little by little. I'm also huge now. About 6 feet 5 with black hair that is tied up in a ponytail, Mihawk's abnormal eyes that seem to be able to see, analyze and process things really quickly. People are really nervous around me because of it, and it will likely be a dominant trait in my line from now. My frame is similar to Mihawk's too. I learned how to dual wield archery and very proficient with the spear. I am Jorah's second in command along with Aunt Mage. Most of the time I am sent on journey to meet with other nobles or help guard the whiskey transports from bandits. It was on one of those trips I came back with Uru. Everyone was surprised I found a Valyrian steel greatsword, especially with the black coloring. I am currently preparing for a trip down south to see how different it is from canon and to also test myself to improve. My hockey hasn't been able to improve for a while after I reached medium proficiency in all of them. I found out in this world conquerors hockey is very rare. There can be a generation without news of one, and all conquerors are very sought after. The two current known in Westeros are Barristan Selmy and a woman hedge knight called Mary Ann. My range for observation hockey is huge. If I really concentrate I can cover the whole north, but it won't last long. Maybe because of my devil fruit. I have already recreated all of Fujitora's moveset except the meteor shower. I am having an issue with that ability. Maybe I need to awaken first. I need to go meet Pops and Jorah to tell them my plans and how to contact me. Basically catching you up on the time skip. Story starts next chapter. _D_born creators thoughts. 7 comments 0 vote. Bear Island 2. Yo. Jorah, what's good? I said while stepping into his solar. It's changed a little over the years as he's taken over from Jeor as he went to join the Night's Watch. There was a new stuffing of a black bear head hanging from the wall behind him. I turned to see Mage already there sitting, seems like she was in a conversation with him. I'm alright. Mage and I are going over plans to prepare for the next Ironborn attack. We received news that they were leaving western coast and would like reach us eventually. Damn right. Those Ironborn cunts are always on our necks. We should cut the next crew that shows up and steal their ships. Maybe grow a fleet thanks to it. Said Mage. That is not a bad idea. But we don't have enough people living here. Not enough men or women to man ships. Maybe 2 or 3. If we get lucky and capture enough, maybe we bring it to Lord Stark's attention that we can start a Northern Navy again. It's been too long really. I added my personal input. We stayed there bouncing off ideas until we reached the conclusion to steal as many ships as we possibly can, but slowly, maybe 2 at a time per raid, so the Ironborn don't figure us out quickly. It took some hours before I finally brought up the topic of leaving, and they did not like it one bit. I eventually promised them I would stay until I was officially 10 and 6 name days, which was about 5 months away. I could use this time to improve my warging abilities by letting my hawks fly and gather info I would need for the south. I can currently control and communicate with 16 hawks. I have a deep connection to them. Maybe one day I'll take over the three-eyed raven's job and make it the three-eyed hawks. Funny enough, I got stuck with Jeor Mormont's nickname here too. Everyone calls me Hawkeye. At least I escaped any terrible nickname. I went back to my room after completing my daily training. It adds a little percent to Mihawk's template every day I do it. Jeor Mormont. Age, 16. Height, 6 feet 5. Template, Mihawk 70.006%. Devil Fruit. Gravity Fruit near awakened. Abilities. Near super soldier body, able to perform at almost the pinnacle of the human body. Flight, using Devil Fruit to control body's gravity to fly. Immortal Soul. Parallel processing. Eidetic memory. Observation Haki mind reading, range 1 km passive, 500 km 2. Actively, emotion sensing, danger sense. Armament Haki armor, coiling and hardening. Conqueror's Haki intimidation, weak-willed with feint when used actively. Inventory, Yuru, 5,000 gold dragons, 100 whiskey wine sacks, food, armor, clothes. Before I laid in my bed I sent 2 raven flying. One to Dornay and the other to the Reach. They have been throwing a lot of tourneys these days. Probably going to head there to participate. Better to see the situation in the kingdom through their eyes instead of receiving news later. Takes a while for news to trickle down north. 6 comments 0 vote. Brandon Stark. 270 C. Most times I really love being a Stark. Thanks to our bloodline most of us have the ability to warg. Most likely from the time we assimilated the Warg King's daughter's bloodline into our family. Sometimes we even have greenseers. All of us have a very high resistance to cold, maybe from the thousands of years of ruling the north, I don't know. Once in a while someone inherits the wolf blood, which gives an extra boost to break through one's current physical ability at the cost of descending to almost the basic instincts of a direwolf. According to my father, Lord Rickard Stark, I and my little sister seem to have that ability. I used it once when sparing a 16 name day banner man when I was 10. He was completely dominating me in that fight, but as soon as my anger took over my thoughts everything seemed to be a blur. By the time I came back to my senses I was standing over a bloodied man. Sure, I got punished by father and had to muck the stables for a month, but I won. I proved my dominance over him, and that is what matters. I noticed that proving myself capable has become somewhat of a character flaw for me. Afterwards I'm trying to fix it, but it's hard really. Lord Brandon. Lord Stark is calling for you in his solar. Said a voice of a servant outside my door. I'll be right there. I'm 11 name days now, soon a man grown. My father has been preparing me to rule the north. Asks my opinions on decisions he is about to make even when he already has an answer in mind. To me, I guess it's a kind of test. I walk my way up the keep to his solar, knock before entering. You called. Come and sit. This just came from Bear Island. Ironborns have attacked them 3 times in the past 5 months. How are we just getting to know this now? We should send aid to them. No need. It seems the bears have been scheming for a while now. They sent a missive that they have captured and executed all the pirates while retaining most of their ships. That's good, then shows how strong the north is to those squids. What do you mean scheming? They have captured 10 ships. That is enough for a fleet. Ah. I see. They sent us the missive after they already have 10 ships to their name. Subtly increasing their power and standing in the north by proving to be a strong house and now being the only house apart from the Manderleys to own ships. What is their endgame? My father paused and looked at the letter again before sighing and said, Pressure. They don't have enough people man those ships for now, so they want help from House Stark and our support. Their endgame is likely building a northern fleet with them being in control of most of it like the Red Ones. That's an ambitious project that is likely to fail. They don't have the coffers to handle the ships. They barely have a port to land. If it was the Manderleys I could understand, but the Mormonts. Do not underestimate this generation of Mormonts. Jeor's son Jorah has already taken over the post of Lord of Bear Island and is doing an excellent job there. They have never been richer in their recent history as they are now thanks to his younger brother invention of whiskey. I heard it goes for quite a lot down south, so they have some coins to spare on this endeavor for a while. That's why they came to us. So we can help them. I believe we should support it as long as they know the fleet will be jointly owned by House Stark. Maybe help build a harbor and provide some skilled workers to help. I agree to that decision, but it also brings problems from the south. The crown may start asking questions why the north is building a fleet. Those Targaryens always bring trouble to those around them. All the more reason to do it now. It adds prestige to the north and at the same time makes others weary of besieging us from the sea. Too long have those squids had free movements on our waters. I'll send a raven to start negotiations with them. I heard the second son is preparing to head south. The one with a devil fruit. We received reports last year of a possible devil fruit user from one of our spies. It was concluded to be Hawkeye. The ability seems to have something to do with weight, as he was seen floating as he was training the ability at some corner of Bear Island. Yes. The boy is gifted. One of the most talented people I've heard of. His current strength can already contend with some of the stronger knights of the realm. He's going to be one of your most important bannermen, so you have to be cordial with him. Understand? Yes. How strong is he? Isn't he only 15 name days? Probably as strong as the weakest Kingsguard currently. Whoa. The Kingsguard are all monsters. If he's that strong now, how strong will he be in the future? It seems I have to increase my training. Men do not follow those weaker than them. I have to be the strongest in the north, no strongest in the Seven Kingdoms. If you like the story, add stones. Motivation, you know. Ash_D_Born Creators Thoughts. 11 comments, 0 vote. Hawkeye. 271 AC. The Twins, the Riverlands. I love the snow. In my past life where I lived didn't see it much. Growing up in the north had led to a very healthy appreciation and love for it. After turning 6 and 10 I finally started my journey to find myself. I am strong but no one knows. I don't have the prestige that comes with the kind of strength I have now. If Barristan steps on a battlefield there will be a clear shift in morale. If I do the same even as I am, it won't have the same results. I don't have the hype yet. But one day. I have to say I underestimated the people of this world. When I sent my birds scouting for information I received some humbling news. I thought this world couldn't support the strength of a Yonko. I was wrong in a way. Sure, the overall strength of someone like Kaido and Big Mom was non-existent, but some people had the ability to cause their level of destruction. For example, Arthur Dane. Simply a genius confined by the limitations of the world. The Sword Dawn during its creation had seemingly eaten a devil fruit, the star fruit, and gained partial sentience. It chooses who can would it per generation and its was almost awakened. Arthur became the first person to awaken a devil fruit in history. He was fighting a Dothraki horde in some island in Essos when he did it. That island is now gone. Lost to history. He also has awakened the breath of all things, I haven't yet, and can send flying slashes, which is legendary here, for even famous knights can't awaken it. It takes a very special person. He also has conquerors, but he hides it. Looks like he's the one I would be concentrating on while I am here. He isn't a Kingsguard yet, not even sure he'll be one in this world based on how difficult it is to tame a conqueror. He spends a lot of time with the Martells working as a master of arms. He also has solo expeditions to Essos to fight in the pits of Marine. It is also known that some Valyrians have a bloodline that allows them create and control flames like Lunarians, but it's very rare. Rhaegar has it. Which makes his danger level go up by a lot in my books. He also seems to be playing the part of a perfect prince, maybe too perfect, but I might just be paranoid. Overall I can't slack or I might be obliterated. I approached the twins, holdfast of the phrase. I can just fly over, but now I'm in the south I have to be careful with my devil fruit, you never know who is watching. There are spies everywhere. I approached one of the guards. Hello Goodman, my name is Jeor Mormont. I need to cross the bridge. How much is the toll? You look like a noble. Lord Walder gave us instructions that nobles that want to pass through should be sent to him. Bah, I don't want to deal with that guy. I'm rich, nothing a little extra coin can't fix. Look, I do not want to see your lord. How about I give you 15 silver stags and we call it a day? You never saw me. Milord never saw who. I smirked. Smart guy, it never pays to antagonize nobles for no reason. I dip my hand into my pockets and access my inventory to receive the stags. I give it to him, then made my way to the bridge. The phrase already have a bad reputation in this timeline, not as bad as the Red Wedding later down the line, but they are looked as scheming and opportunistic bannermen. I walked across the bridge. I finally took a deep breath. The journey finally begins. There is tourney at River Run celebrating the birth of the heir Edmure Tully. I only do melee and archery since I don't practice jousting. Waste of time really. The prizes are about 200 gold dragons for each of the competitions. I activated my devil fruit subtelly to reduce the amount of gravity acting on me and started running. Look at me turning a journey into training. I would have never done such a thing in my past life. Most likely because I grew up in the north. Hard places make hard men. I keep running through the forests towards River Run. No way am I using the King's Road before I get spotted and reports about me get sent flying this early. Host has been running for 12 hours now. It is recommended you take a break before total exhaustion sets it in. There are a group of travelers sitting in a camp 2 kilometers to the east. Would recommend going to join them. I see, thanks Mara. I'll head there now. It's a pleasure to always help my lord. I'm still new to this writing gig, so comments and stones will be nice. Ash_D_born creators thoughts. 13 comments 0 vote. Mary Ann. Someone is coming. They're strong. I said as me and my brother Lionel and scrambled to our feet with our weapons drawn ready to intercept. Whoever that is coming is as strong as me, if not stronger, and they're alone, so that's good. My brother and I are the last of our parents after they died in our village during the last Blackfire Rebellion. It was that same day my fortunes changed, as in grief I unlocked Conqueror's Haki and knocked out the remaining soldiers before stealing a sword and fleeing with my brother. News about me circulated the realm as everyone was interested in finding out about the peasant with Hashoku. I was eventually taken in by the Blackwoods. They treated me and my brother as wards. We were trained and educated alongside the heir and other nobles. At first I thought I was being groomed to be his wife. My hopes were dashed by Lady Blackwood. You think you are worthy of my son just because of Hashoku? Do not overstep, peasant. It was then I realized nobles only seek their benefits. They only want to bind me to their house, but not too closely because of my peasant roots. When I turned 8 and 10 I was knighted after clearing some bandits, codename for Brackens, to these Blackwoods. I became a landed knight under the Blackwoods. I guess this was their plan all along. As long as my brother is safe and can get more out of life, I'll do anything. The bushes started shaking and a second later a tall man stepped out. He had the weirdest eyes I have ever seen or heard of. His eyeballs were yellow with 2 outer rings forming around the pupils. He carried a massive sword on his back about the size of the legendary sword Ice of the Starks. He had all black hair with a few strands falling down his face and the rest held up in a ponytail. He wasn't too muscular, he was strong but had a slim frame. He was quite handsome if I had to say so. He walked closer to us and stared at us from a few paces away before saying, "It's not every day you meet the Sword Maiden on the road. It's an honor to meet you. It's an honor likewise, good Esser. I'm not a Esser. That's for you Andals and soft Southrons. You're not a knight and you're this strong. Of course. It wasn't easy. Your range of Haki is really good if you could still sense me while I was suppressing my presence." Wait, hold on. Suppressing his presence. What the fuck is that? Is that something people can do with Haki? Those damned Blackwoods were still holding back info from me. Want to turn me into an attack dog? Sorry sir, but what do you mean suppressing your presence? Asked my little brother. The man sighed before looking at the campfire. He reached out for his sword, drew it, and I couldn't hold back my shock. This fucker had Valyrian steel. If he was strong before, he was dangerous as fuck now. I tightened my grip in my blade in case an attack falls. He turned and sliced a log of wood of a tree behind him before carrying it to a corner of the campsite and sitting on it. He then looks at us and gestures to our seats. I looked at my brother briefly before sitting down. First of what is Haki? He asked. What kind of question is that? Everyone knows what Haki is. It's as the gift provided by the Seven and the old gods on humans to help us survive the world. Wrong. I was taught the same thing, but I came to another conclusion that I feel is correct. Haki is willpower. Blasphemy. If a Septon heard him, they would try to silence him. That Haki is the greatest gift the gods gave humanity. If he goes around saying these things, he will get in trouble. I wanted to warn him, but at the same time I want to hear him out. What do you mean willpower? I mean hockey is simply using your will to interact with the world and attempt to pry some of the rules of you. Also how your will interacts with yourself. So it isn't some mystical energy of the gods. Yes. We simply found a way to weaponize our willpower, my lady. This is groundbreaking. I could hear my brother take a deep breath. The consequences if this spread out as a new belief would be devastating for the faith. The man chuckled as he looked at us before saying. So based on that idea, when I was younger I was running from a bear and it was gaining on me. So I tried suppressing my presence. It didn't work initially, but I kept trying and running, and while in the heat of battle after a sharp turn it just clicked. And from then on I exert my willpower on myself to prevent detection. To observation users I appear as a blank spot in their range that most won't give notice to unless in their line of sight. You must be terribly strong. Are you going for Lord Tully's tourney? Of course. I advise you to leave the melee and archery to me. I can't lose. That's big talk and I'm a big girl. Want to put some coin where your mouth is? Ha. Let's fucking go. I'm betting 5 gold dragons on myself winning both. I smiled at that. It's been a while since I could talk to someone without looking for double meanings or insults down here. I'm putting 10 gold that I would win one of them. Ah, my lady, I shall not go easy on you regardless of how beautiful you are, dear. Hey. Don't underestimate big sis. She has never lost a fight. The man looked my dead in the eyes with those haunting yellow eyes and said. Well then allow me be the first to lay you on your back, my lady. I groaned. He's sarcastic too. He'll be an interesting companion on the way there. Add stones. Let's get into the rankings. Ash_D_Born Creators thoughts. 8 comments 0 vote.